I wasn't planning on making it. I already announced I'm not doing a Truck Series race reaction video because I got other shit to do, and it's the Truck Series. It is what it is. And WWE gave me a reason to make a video because holy shit, we have developments with what's left of the bloodline. And I'm telling you right now, this next chapter is already fucking shaping up to be fucking nice. So let's go ahead, dive into it real quick. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any future videos and streams. So what happened? Well, tonight is the first SmackDown, of course, since WrestleMania. And earlier, uh, they showed the locker room that used to belong to the Bloodline, but is now Cody Rhodes' locker room because he's the champion. And Paul Heyman made the comment specifically to Solo, saying how if they want that locker room back, they have to get the championship back, and that losing has consequences. Well, later on, they had an in-ring segment, and Solo repeats that comment to Heyman, and then he just moves him out of the way, and he looks at Jimmy Uso. He hugs him, and if you're in the bloodline, you need to stop accepting hugs from other bloodline members because your ass is about to get fucking betrayed, and that's exactly what happened. Because here comes Tama Tonga, the son of Haku, who and shout out Wade Barrett for mentioning this specifically. That and the fact that he's been wrecking shop in Japan for years. He is now signed to WWE, and he comes in attacking Jimmy. Now, Sean Ross Sapp put it very eloquently, saying a lot happened there. Solo Sikoa taking leadership of the bloodline. Because remember, Roman's out. He's taking time off. And somebody on Twitter pointed out that they looked it up, and apparently he's scheduled to be on the Go Home SmackDown before SummerSlam. So I think he's going to be gone until then. You had the segment from Monday where, we already know Rock's going back to Hollywood because he has another movie to do. But it seems like they planted the seeds to do Rock and Cody at SummerSlam, although allegedly, according to Meltzer, Rock wants Cody at Mania next year. I mean, it's Meltzer, so take it with a grain of salt. But he did point out the fact that usually what Rock gets or wants, he gets. And if that's the case, fair enough. Um, but with that being said, now Solo is the one taking the lead. And remember, Roman anointed Solo last year as the next tribal chief. So Solo is essentially taking that initiative. So Solo takes leadership of the bloodline, kicks out Jimmy, brings in Tama. He wants to keep Heyman, but he won't let Heyman call Roman. And somebody else tweeted it out that Heyman said this is not what the tribal chief would have wanted. And apparently Solo also smashed Heyman's phone that he uses to call Roman with. Now, Jason Solomon said Bloodline doing some restructuring. Heyman said this is not what Trout wanted. And Alex Pawlowski says Jimmy goes back to Jay. They were always better together. Solo and Tama Tonga run roughshod over everyone usurping the throne. Roman brings in his own personal enforcer, Jacob Fatu, who apparently signed his contract at WrestleMania and was backstage at WrestleMania. And then he finishes the tweet by saying, three-way bloodline civil war. To me, it's either, the way I look at it is this. When Roman gets back, you have Roman, Jay, and Jimmy all as faces, and you have OG Bloodline versus New Generation Bloodline, that being Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga, or the three way, which would be very interesting in of itself. And you have to think Rock is the one sort of pulling all the strings here. Roman lost to Cody, and you sort of look at some of the subtle little things from when Rock came back. to in the whole lead up to Mania, he was never really quite actually, acknowledging Roman as the tribal chief. He put up an L instead of the one. Some of the things he was saying, he was kind of looking at Roman when he was saying them and kind of making a point of that. Either way, this is going to get very fucking interesting very fucking quickly. Um, and I, bro, I can't fucking wait. Like, you can definitely say that after the Sammy stuff was done and after Roman beat Cody last year, you can um well, I should say after the Usos split from Roman initially, before Jimmy went back to him after SummerSlam last year. About after that point, it kind of felt like things were kind of stale, and it's basically all filler to get to the next year. And then Cody wins the Royal Rumble, then The Rock happened, and then the fans happened, and then we got what we got, which was an insane fucking road to WrestleMania. And now here we are. Cody's the champion. Roman's gone. Rock's gone. Heyman, Solo, and Jimmy are left, and Solo's like, I need to fucking do something here. And I'd like to also point out the fact that Solo has had these little mini moments with Roman, where you can see that there's some beef, like there's some disdain, and you kind of go back to that tag match in Saudi with Roman and Solo against the Usos when Jimmy superkicked Roman, and how Solo at one point was taking initiative in the match to try and get the win, um because it felt like Roman wasn't getting it done. You look at literally the main event of night 2 between Roman and Cody, being that with Bloodline rules, when Solo came out, he's literally screaming at Roman to get his shit together, and Roman's like, I know. When Roman comes back and he confronts Solo, I have a feeling that Solo's going to look at Roman and be like, you're weak. You are not the tribal chief anymore. You lost. And I'm waiting for him to drop the line of, without us, without everyone around you, you would be nothing. I mean, Roman did say it himself when he inducted Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame after SmackDown last week, that without Heyman, there's no tribal chief. If Heyman goes away, there's no tribal chief. Um, Either way, and Triple H mentioned it on the media press conference after night 2. Roman's going on a whole new journey when he gets back with the Bloodline. So I can't fucking wait to see where this goes. This is interesting. The Bloodline story, it's wild because you look at the Bloodline story as a whole. At the beginning, when Roman first got the Universal title, there was, because it was the Thunderdome era, you had a lot of the cinematic stuff with the Usos and him trying to get them to fall in line. And then eventually it became Roman wins Lowell for what felt like forever. And then once Triple H took over, we started getting back to the the cinema, as people would say, the good shit that made the early portion of the Bloodline story so fucking good was the storytelling. We're getting back to that. It Like I said, it hit a bit of a lull late last year, probably like the back half of last year after Jimmy turned on Jay at SummerSlam, and then early this year picked right back up again. And then it's like it started picking up again. Like you knew it was going to pick up again anyway because Cody was going to win the Rumble. Uh, and then The Rock just injected a whole fuck ton of energy into it. And now, here we are, post WrestleMania. TAMA Tonga is here. We're waiting on Jacob Fatu to show up. And think about it. You've got Zilla Fatu and Juicy Finau are still on, the indies. Lance Anoa'i's out there. There's a like it's a running joke in the IWC that more Bloodline members could show up and screw Cody over, at least leading up to Mania. But now that joke has been turned on its head where it's more Bloodline members could show up to fuck with Roman, with Rock being the one that's probably behind it. And it kind of goes back to what I predicted going into Mania. Yes, Solo and Rock turning on Roman did not happen at Mania like I thought it would. But I think that's what we're getting anyway, eventually, is that it becomes defined that it's OGs versus new gen, and I can't fucking wait. So, with that being said, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.